Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Stephanie. I am a life and relationship coach. This week, I wanted to make a video and give you guys really phrases that people will use if they are gaslighting you. And so we're going to do a little series on here because I think this stuff is really important, because when you're learning about manipulation and gaslighting and all of these different types of emotional abusive tactics, if you're still really struggling with that codependency or really struggling with that sense of self, you just may not know when someone is really doing something to you. And so I think these types of videos in this series will really help you to identify if someone is actually gaslighting you. And these are the things that a gaslighter would say to you. Now, before we do get into this week's video, if you have not already subscribed to this channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below, click on post notifications. That will actually, which is the little bell, that will inform you every time I do upload a new video with a new topic, so you can be in the loop on all the information that is here on this channel. I always tell people this is essentially free coaching for you guys, so you don't want to miss out on new topics. Not just topics depending on what it is that you're going through, whether that is dealing with someone who is narcissistic or trying to gain some self-confidence or understanding mental health, trying to be emotionally and mentally healthy, trying to achieve goals. We talk about so much on this channel, so it's definitely not a one topic channel. So I hope you will follow along every week with all the topics that I am covering. So let's get into this week's video because I'm really excited for it. Okay, so one of the first phrases that a gaslighter will say to you is, "I never said that, you have a bad memory." Now, this is often when you remember that someone said something to you, and chances are the reason why this person is even saying this to you is to throw you off course. So remember, gaslighting is all about control, and it is about me manipulating you psychologically, so you will begin to doubt yourself. So then you will trust me and what I say more than you trust yourself and what you think and how you feel, and what you remember the situation to be based on how you were feeling. So when someone says to you, "I never said that, you have a bad memory," the "I never said that" could really just be a complete deflection of the fact that they actually did say it. So they don't want to take accountability. They don't want to take responsibility for what they said. So they're going to lie to you. They're going to tell you that they never said that. Then what they're going to do, and this is where the real gaslighting comes into play, is they're going to convince you or try to convince you that you actually have a bad memory and then I never actually said that at all. So gaslighting is when someone makes you doubt your own reality. So if your reality is that you recall this person saying this to you, and now they're telling you that they never said it, and aside from the fact that they never said it, you also have a bad memory. Now the bad memory portion of that comment is starting to kind of hit that like real sense of self, or that real self-esteem to say, or self-confidence, whatever you want to really call it, just your ability to really trust your own instincts. Now, a similar phrase to that, because I'm going to give you about 4 major phrases, but I want to give you similarities to those phrases. So, "I never said that, you have a poor memory," also could sound similar to these. "I remember you said you would." So it's the same thing. Now this person is saying, "I remember you said that you would, blah, blah, blah." Now, you probably didn't say that at all, but now they're trying to really manipulate you. And gaslighting is essentially manipulation. It's just done in a different way. So as this person is trying to convince you that you said that you would, whatever, if they keep pouncing on that enough, at some point, any normal human being would question themselves and ask themselves, maybe I did say it, or did I say I would? And that's normal. That actually should happen. You should question yourself a little bit to some extent, but you have to also be able to stop after you ask yourself that question. Did I say that? Did I say I would do that? And be able to say yes or no. You still can't be in a fog where then you take what the other person is saying and then just run with it. You have to know with certainty that you did or did not say something. Another similar phrase would be, "I remember you did that. I remember you did that. I remember this happened." When they remember that something was said or something happened and it actually never did happen, again, you're going to question yourself from time to time. And if you're really struggling with that codependency, if you really don't have a sense of self, and a sense of self is essentially your ability to be connected to your thoughts and feelings, right? To be connected to yourself. And so if you don't have that, when someone comes in and questions you, you just roll with it. You just say, yeah, I guess I did say that, or I guess I didn't say that, or I guess that didn't happen, or I guess that did happen. You just automatically believe the other person versus learning how to have that sense of self and say, no, I don't think that happened, or no, that didn't happen. Another similar phrase would sound like, that never happened, you're making that up. Or you're not remembering what really happened. You remember things all wrong all the time. So those types of phrases is really when it comes to memory and a past experience. And this is where the person is wanting you to not remember what actually happened, or they're wanting you to think something happened the way they perceive it or the way they want you to think. And again, this is where the manipulation comes into play. One of the next big phrases with a gaslighter is going to be, "You're too sensitive." Now, any manipulator is going to throw that at you, and it's going to really work if you are highly sensitive or if you are an empath and you know you're a sensitive creature. So you might get really defensive with that comment. Now, if you are a person that is highly sensitive and you don't fully accept your sensitivity or your ability to be an empath, then because you haven't accepted those parts of you and honored them and loved them, then you're going to react and become defensive. If you are highly sensitive and you have accepted that you are this person, you will also know that your sensitiveness, your ability to be highly sensitive or an empath has nothing to do with this situation. This is actually just what did happen and what didn't happen. This is someone doing something inappropriately versus not doing something inappropriately and you not liking that. So if I try to hold you accountable for what it is that you did and your actions that I didn't like, and you tell me I'm too sensitive, if I accept my sensitivity, I'm not going to be reactive to that. I'm still going to hold you accountable for what you did. If I haven't accepted my sensitivities, then I'm going to be reactive. And I'm going to actually prove to the person in front of me, to the abuser, that I am too emotional, that I am overreactive, that I am very sensitive, because I'm going to become erratic. If I become erratic, then my initial, and this is where reactive abuse comes into play, if the problem was the abuser in front of you, and you begin to state a boundary, or you begin to say, hey, when you did that, I didn't like it, or that behavior I felt was inappropriate, and they say something at you, you're too sensitive, you're dramatic, you're an overthinker, you're always jealous, etc., then if you become reactive to that, you're now the problem. So now the initial thing that you came to the table bringing, which was, hey, your behavior wasn't okay, or when you said this, I didn't like it, or I felt like you were flirting with that person and it was totally inappropriate, that problem that you brought to the table, now that problem went out the window. And now the problem is actually you, because you became erratic. And you became erratic because you got triggered by someone telling you that you are too sensitive, or you got triggered by someone telling you that you're a drama queen or that you are jealous, rather than understanding, why is this person saying this to me? Why are they calling me sensitive? Why are they calling me dramatic? Oh, they're actually doing it because they're trying to gaslight me, because they're trying to deflect what it was that they actually did in terms of what I'm bringing to them. What I'm bringing to the table is this concern. And because they don't want to own it, they don't want to see it, they just want to play the victim, whatever that looks like, they're going to throw things at me and try to trigger me. And here we go with responding versus reacting. So you're too sensitive can also look like you're bipolar, can also look like you're crazy, can also look like you're always jealous. So, or you are too emotional, you are erratic, whatever. Whenever those phrases start to come into play, just remember, this is now a person who's trying to deflect from what they actually did or said because they don't want to own it, and they want to say something to you to get defensive and react to them. And now you're the problem, and they get to just push that problem that you brought to them just off to the side. Other phrases that a gaslighter loves to use is, your friends have issues, your girlfriend has an issue, your family has problems, you're the problem, not me, you're always the one bringing up this drama, I'm not, or the classic, you're the narcissist, not me. Now, one of the last really big phrases of a gaslighter is going to be, I was just talking to her or him. Remember, a gaslighter doesn't want you to believe what it is that you just saw happening. They want to make you feel like you're wrong. that you're erratic, that you're jealous, that they were just talking, that there wasn't flirting going on, that they weren't being inappropriate, and they believe their own lies. So a gaslighter is essentially a manipulative liar. So, and they believe their lies. So if the abuser tells you, I was just talking to her, that's totally fine. You can 100% believe in your mind that you were just talking to her. But I'm going to tell you what just happened and what I saw, how it made me feel. The abuser doesn't want you to feel that way, because then they're going to have to alter their actions, which is whatever they just did. They did it how they wanted to with no disregard of anyone else. Or maybe they can't even, quite frankly, see the rudeness, the inability to not take your feelings into consideration, which is a lack of empathy, etc. So when you bring something like that to someone's attention and they just immediately go to the place of trying to convince you that what you saw wasn't real, gaslighting. Another phrase that really goes hand in hand with I was just talking to her or him is you're always paranoid that didn't happen. You love to make a big deal out of everything. So I hope that this video has helped you guys understand some really key phrases that someone who is abusive will use on you. I really think it's important to understand when someone is gaslighting you. What does that sound like? What are the phrases that they use? It's the same thing for manipulation, passive aggressive behavior, etc., judgment. And so we're gonna have a series on this channel regarding these types of phrases that abusers will use. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in working with me, I will link everything down below. We are running a special this month on some of my online courses. Don't forget to check that out, and I will see you next week.